Take a deep breath, let your shoulders drop away from your ears, unclench your jaw, close your eyes if it feels safe to do so. Or simply soften your gaze on a fixed point in the room. We are going to take a walk through the landscape of your memory, but we are going to do it slowly. We are going to do it gently. There is no rush here. There is no goal to achieve. There is only this moment, and the quiet truth that has been waiting for you to hear it. I want to begin with a phrase that might feel very familiar to you. It is a phrase that might have been spoken to you in frustration, or in dismissal, or even with a cold sort of kindness. You are just too sensitive. Maybe it sounded different. Maybe it was, why are you making such a big deal out of this? Or, you are overreacting again. Or, can't you just take a joke? Or perhaps it was the silence that followed your tears, of silence that felt louder than any shout. A silence that said, your feelings are inconvenient here. When you hear these words, what happens in your body? For many of you, I imagine there is a familiar shrinking sensation, a tightening in the chest, a sudden, sharp doubt that pierces through whatever emotion you were feeling. You stop feeling the sadness or the anger or the joy, and instead you start analyzing yourself. You ask, am I being dramatic? Is there something wrong with me? Why can't I just be normal? Why do I feel everything so deeply when everyone else seems to glide over the surface of life? You have likely spent years, perhaps decades, trying to fix this part of yourself, trying to grow a thicker skin, trying to care less, trying to numb the parts of you that vibrate at a higher frequency than the world around you. But I want to offer you a different possibility tonight. I want to offer you a shift in perspective that might change the way you hold your own history. What if you were never too sensitive? What if your volume was set at a perfectly human level? What if the problem was never the intensity of your emotions, but the inability of the people around you to hold them? What if you were not too sensitive? ... What if you were simply unseen? Imagine a person. We won't give them a name because this person is you, and this person is me. And this person is many of us. Let's look at this person in their adult life right now, to the outside world. They appear very calm. They are the friend you call when you are in a crisis. They are the employee who never complains. It's the one who just gets the work done. They are the partner who is low maintenance. It's easygoing, always willing to compromise. They seem so put together. But if we could step inside their mind, we would see a very different reality. Inside, there is a constant humming engine of anxiety. This person walks into a room and immediately scans the atmosphere. They are checking the temperature of the room, not the heat, but the emotional weather. Is the boss in a bad mood? Did my partner sigh just now? Why is that person quiet? Did I do something wrong? They are hyper-aware of every micro-expression on another person's face. A shifted jaw, a furrowed brow, a tone of voice that drops just an octave lower than usual too. This person, these aren't just small details. They are sirens. They are warning bells. They feel responsible for the emotions of everyone around them. If someone is angry, they feel they must fix it. If someone is sad, they feel they must carry it. If there is silence, they feel they must fill it. Because silence feels dangerous, and when they themselves have a need, when they feel hurt or lonely or overwhelmed, they swallow it. They push it down. They tell themselves, don't be a burden. Don't cause a scene. It's not that big of a deal. They invalidate their own reality before anyone else has the chance to do it for them. Does this sound familiar? Does this exhaustion resonate in your bones? It's not the behavior of someone who is weak. It's the behavior of someone who is surviving. This is the behavior of a person who learned a long time ago that their safety depended on their ability to be invisible. Let's travel back in time. To understand where this began, we are drifting back gently to childhood. We are not looking for monsters here. We are not looking for broken bones or screaming matches. Those things are terrible. Yes, but often the deepest wounds are the ones that leave no bruises. The deepest wounds are caused not by what happened, but by what didn't happen. Imagine a child, 7 or 8 years old. This child has had a hard day at school. Maybe a friend was mean. Maybe they felt embarrassed in class. Their heart is racing, their chest feels tight. They're filled with this big, confusing energy that they don't have a name for yet. They come home, the house is warm. There is food in the fridge. The television is on paper. Everything is fine. The child walks into the kitchen where a parent is standing. The parent is busy. Maybe they are stressed about work. Maybe they are just tired. Maybe they are emotionally limited themselves, unable to handle their own feelings, let alone a child's. The child starts to cry. Or maybe they just stand there looking dejected, hoping to be noticed. The parent looks up, and here is the moment. In a healthy environment, the parent would stop. They would crouch down. They would look the child in the eye and say, "You look sad. What happened? Come here." They would offer a container for the child's big feelings. But in this story, in your story, that didn't happen. Maybe the parent sighed and said, "Oh, not again. What is it now?" Asterisk. Maybe they said, "Stop crying. You're fine. Go wash your face." Or maybe, and this is the most confusing one of all, maybe they just didn't respond. Maybe they kept washing the dishes. Maybe they looked through the child as if they were made of glass. Maybe they changed the subject. Did you finish your homework? In that moment, the child is left with a massive internal dilemma. They have this huge emotion inside them: fear, sadness, anger. It is real, it is physical. But the most important person in their world, the person they rely on for survival, is telling them, verbally or non-verbally, that this emotion does not exist, or that it is wrong, or that it is annoying. A child cannot think, "Oh, my parent is emotionally immature and distracted." A child can only think, "I am wrong. My feelings are too big. My needs are too much. When I am sad, I am unlovable. When I am loud, I am in danger." And so the child makes a choice. It is not a conscious choice, but a biological one. It is a survival strategy. They reach for the volume dial on their own soul and they turn it down. They learn to disconnect from their own body. They learn that if they want to be close to the parent, if they want to be good, they must suppress their inner world. They learn to trade their authenticity for attachment, because for a child, attachment is survival. Being loved, even conditionally, is better than being alone. So the child dries their tears. They force a smile. They go to their room, sit quietly. They become the easy child, the independent one. And the parent might even praise them for it. "You're so good. You're so low maintenance." And that praise feels like love, but it is actually a cage, because now the child knows the rule. I am lovable only when I am invisible. I am safe only when I feel nothing. This is what we call childhood. Emotional neglect. It's not about malice. It's often not intentional. Your parents may have loved you very much. They may have provided for all your physical needs. They may have driven you to soccer practice and bought you nice clothes. But they missed you. They missed the essence of who you are. They missed the part of you that needed to be held when you were scared, validated when you were angry, and celebrated when you were joyful. And when you tried to show them those parts, and you were met with a blank stare or a criticism, you didn't stop feeling the emotions. You just started hiding them. And you started believing the label. You're too sensitive. That label became a convenient explanation. It shifted the blame from their inability to see you to your flaw of feeling too much. It wasn't that they were emotionally blind. It was that you were too bright. It wasn't that they were deaf to your needs. It was that you were too loud and you believed them. Because they were the giants and you were the child. Now, let's come back to the present. Let's look at how that child lives inside you today. Because that child didn't go away. They just went underground and they are still running the show in ways you might not realize. Think about your relationships. Do you find yourself constantly apologizing? Sorry, is this okay? I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry for feeling this way. You apologize for existing. You apologize for taking up space. This is the child in you saying, please don't reject me. I know I'm too much. I'll make myself smaller so you can stay. Think about how you handle conflict. Do you freeze? Do you shut down? Do you immediately assume that if someone is upset, it is your fault? Do you rush to fix things, even if you are the one who is hurt? This is the child in you who learned that conflict leads to disconnection. And disconnection feels like death. You bypass your own anger to preserve the peace. But it's a false peace. It's a peace built on your own self-abandonment. Think about your needs. Do you feel guilty when you ask for help? Do you feel selfish when you take time for yourself? Do you feel a weird sense of shame when you are actually happy, as if you are waiting for the other shoe to drop? This is the echo of the past. This is the belief that your needs are a burden too. Others. And perhaps the most painful pattern of all is how you treat yourself. Listen to the voice in your head when you make a mistake. Listen to the voice in your head when you feel sad. Is it kind? Is it compassionate? Or does it sound exactly like the people who didn't see you? Get over it. Why are you crying? You're so weak. You have internalized the neglect. You are now doing to yourself what was done to you. You are ignoring your own feelings. You are dismissing your own pain. You are calling yourself too sensitive every time your humanity tries to break through the surface. This is a heavy realization. If you are feeling a heaviness in your chest right now, please just breathe into it. Don't push it away. It is okay to grieve this. It is okay to feel the sadness of the child who waited to be seen and who waited in vain. It is a tragedy to have to hide your own heart to survive. But I want you to know something very important. You survived. You are here. The fact that you are listening to this, the fact that you are aware of these patterns, is a miracle. It means the child inside you didn't disappear. They just went quiet. They are still there, waiting. And now, we are going to go meet them. I want you to close your eyes again, if you can. I want you to visualize a room. It can be a room from your childhood, or a safe, imaginary space. In the center of this room, I want you to see yourself as a child. Maybe you are 5, or 7, or 10. Look at this child. Look at their face. Look at their hands. Notice what they are doing. Are they playing quietly? Are they sitting by the window? Are they crying? See them clearly. This is the part of you that was labeled too sensitive. This is the part of you that felt everything: the beauty, the pain, the fear, the love. This is the part of you that was told they were wrong now. Imagine your adult self, the person you are today, with all your wisdom and strength, walking into that room. Walk in slowly. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to give a speech. You don't need to force the child to stop crying. Just go and sit down. Next to them, sit on the floor. Get on their level. Feel the presence of this little being next to you. And in this visualization, I want you to offer them the one thing they needed back then, the one thing they were starved for. I want you to offer them your presence. Look at the child and simply say, internally or out loud, I see you. I see how big your feelings are. I see how scared you are. And I am not leaving. You are not too much for me. You can cry as loud as you want. I have big, strong arms. I can hold it all. You don't have to hide anymore. Imagine wrapping your arms around this child. Feel the relief in their little body. Feel them melt against you. They don't have to be the adult anymore. They don't have to manage the room. They can just be a child. Tell them, you were right to feel sad. That was a sad thing. You were right to be angry. That was unfair. Your feelings made sense. You were not crazy. You were just alone. Sit with that image for a moment. The adult you, holding the child you. This is the beginning of healing. Healing isn't about becoming tougher. Healing isn't about getting rid of your sensitivity. Healing is simply the act of seeing yourself it. is the act of becoming the parent to yourself that you never had. When you start to do this, when you start to validate your own emotions instead of fighting them, something incredible happens. The anxiety starts to lower because the anxiety was just the child banging on the door, screaming to be let in. When you open the door and say, "Come in, I see you. You are safe," the screaming stops. You will find that you don't need to apologize as much because you will realize that taking up space is your birthright. You will find that you can handle silence because silence is no longer a sign of abandonment. It is just a pause. You will begin to understand that your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a superpower. Think about it. Because you felt so much. You developed incredible empathy because you had to read the room to survive. You now have intuition that borders on the psychic. You can sense when someone is hurting before they say a word. You can experience art and music, and nature with a depth that others might miss. You have a rich, vibrant inner world that the world doesn't need. Fewer sensitive people, the world is desperate for them. The world is desperate for people who can feel, who can care, who can see the nuance in things. Your emotions are not a weakness. They are data. They are signals. They are the colors of your life. You were told that you were too much because the people around you were not enough. They were not enough to hold you, but you are enough to hold yourself. Now, as we come to the end of our time together, I want you to carry a few truths with you into the rest of your day or night. If you start to cry over something small, let yourself cry. It's just your body releasing what it needs to release. It's healthy. If you feel angry, let yourself feel the heat of it. It's just your body telling you that a boundary has been crossed. It's protective. If you feel overwhelmed by the world, step back and rest. It's not because you are weak. It's because you are taking in more information than others. You need more time to process. That is wisdom, not laziness. Catch yourself when you say, "I'm sorry for having a feeling." Pause, and instead, try saying to yourself, "I am human." You are rebuilding a relationship with yourself. And like any relationship, it takes time. It takes patience. Asterisk. There will be days when you fall back into old patterns, days when you feel small and unseen. Again, that is okay. Just remember the room. Go back to the room, sit with the child, and remind them, "I am here. I see you. You were never too sensitive. You were simply reflecting the emotional reality of a situation that others were trying to ignore. You were the truth teller in a house of denial. You were unseen. But the long night of invisibility is over because you are seeing yourself now. You are beginning to focus the lens. You are stepping out of the shadows and into the light of your own awareness, and you are beautiful there. You are valid there. You belong there. Rest in that knowledge. Rest in the safety of your own acceptance. We have so much more to talk about on this journey in the next story. We are going to explore the idea of conditional, the feeling that you have to earn your place in the world by being perfect, or helpful, or impressive. But for now, just be. Just breathe. You are seen, you are safe, and you are loved.